Okay, so our next case study is Village Oaks Master Plan Community. It's a large-scale community, on-site management, and a new PCAM manager comes on the property as manager and finds, takes over from another PCAM who was on the project for 5 years. The project is under development still, and the new PCAM comes on board and finds the following things. No audit has ever been done, even though the declaration requires one to be provided to the membership on an annual basis. There are no annual meeting minutes, although there has been annual meetings. There are no board meeting minutes. There's no documentation of board action. The corporate files are not organized, cannot find any contracts, those types of insurance policies, all the documents of the organization. There's no personnel files in place for all of the on-site staff, and the pay practices are not legal. A lot of, you could just keep working, and at some point maybe I'll pay you back, or you can just take extra time off. And then there's no current financial reports, and in fact, no current budget. Everything was being done when the developer needed a draw. The developer would just say, when the association needed money, they would just communicate that to the developer, and the developer would write a check to take care of the cash flow, even though the documents all required an accrual basis financial statement. So, ethical issues, misconduct issues, no audit, misconduct.
Especially if it's a statute.
How about annual meeting, board minutes?
It's also an ethical breach to your PCAM code of ethics to be competent and to perform service. You should know if your PCAM is required by the system. So that's both misconduct.
But does that rise to ethical?
Well,
the PCAM code of ethics doesn't say you have to do an audit.
But it says you have to be competent.
Doesn't say you have to be competent.
Well,
It says you have to comply with the professional standards.
and you have to comply with all of all the laws and all of your requirements in your documents. Mm-hmm. Here's a question for you. Did the incoming PCAM violate any ethical requirements in their code of conduct by not reporting it?
Yes, we have a yes over here.
So
complicated questions. It's a complicated question.
because
The PCAM may not have acknowledged why any of these things happened until they started dealing with the board. And it's
Right.
possible that the PCAM left because the board was not giving them the tools to use the board.
right.
I mean, just from a static standpoint, not from what we have.
Right.
Sure. And we share these case studies so you have a sense of how do you drill down and really figure out, are there ethical issues? Ed?
In that situation, you would have the outgoing PCAM should have documented that the board refused to have an audit conducted, that the board refused certain things, and you would be in your own paper trail to the corporate files being organized, with something in there with documentation at this meeting on this date. I said to the board they need an audit, they said no.
Right. Cover yourself.
If that was,
Yes, sir.
I'm curious. I clearly come down on the side on 4 of those items as being contractual breaches and ethical problems, misconduct problems. I'm curious where you would draw the line, or where you would look at it, where the failure to have an audit done being the responsibility of the association and that board, opposed to the professional managers themselves. Should that manager have advised them of their responsibility, and the board simply indicated that they didn't feel it was necessary? Thanks very much for your opinion. I clearly see there some responsibility falling to the association board themselves.
Absolutely.
how could you have covered that? So that if you were the manager in that particular situation, how do you think you could have covered yourself?
Well, I mean, clearly it's, first, I guess you document it in minutes.
Absolutely.
First, but that doesn't help
When you don't have the minutes.
Right. You don't have any minutes, so.
Then it goes to the next level, which is where those minutes, where the board doesn't want to include them and they have to approve minutes. Clearly creating a paper trail and documenting your concerns, reporting them to your supervisor, and indicating it clearly not on the same page that we are. So there's responsibility there too.
Right.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
You use your management report as your tool for advising the board, and then it's in writing that you advise the board. And if they chose not to follow your recommendations, then it is the association's issue. As the manager, you can document your efforts to advise them and guide them in the right direction.
Right.
Good, Kevin.
In a situation like this, if it's developer controlled, the developer is the manager's boss. And the manager might not feel very comfortable telling the boss that they're not doing it right, because then they're going to worry about their job.
Sure. Sure. Great. Okay.
Sorry, question. You said that the incoming PCAM might have had an ethical issue. Why?
Well, as PCAMs, we have an obligation, if we know someone's violating the code of ethics, to report that.
So did the incoming PCAM report it?
That we're not getting, we're just laying the scenario for you.
We can't name any names.
And the question remains, who would he be reporting it to if he's working for the association?
CAI.
CAI in that case.
Right.
If you're going to report,
Right.
If you're reporting on someone's violation of a CAI designation, then you have the CAI body to go to.